Ivy woke up around 8:30 the next morning. She sat up and looked around, seeing what the room looked like. The walls were gray, and there were stuffed animals here and there. The bed she was in was about a king size, and the blankets were black and super soft. She got out of the bed and walked over to the closet to find some clothes other than her nightgown. They were all dresses. She blinked at them for a moment. Thankfully, none of them were pink. She found one that was black, red, and white, and it was very pretty, and when she put it on, it was surprisingly comfortable. She walked over to the mirror. "Good morning, Miss Ivy," a voice said when she heard the door open. She turned around and resisted the urge to run and hide. "Who are you?" She was surprised at how calm she sounded. "My name's Dasasuke, and I must say it's a pleasure to meet you," he said with a small bow. "Why? I'm no one special," she said, tilting her head. "Well, you are to us," he said with a kind smile. She was confused on why some group of boys thought her special. "Why did you come here?" she said, looking back up at him. "To see if you needed help with anything," he said, getting excited. "Oh, Could you help me with my hair?" she asked, feeling happy to finally have someone who wants to help her, and you seem excited about it. "Really? I get to do your hair?" He smiled like a little kid. "Yeah, I mean, if you want to." She felt shy again. "Yes!" he beamed. "Oh, okay. Now let me find a brush and ponytail holders," he said, running out of the room, and then ran back in with a brush, ponytail holders, and some pretty beads. He had Ivy sit on her bed. He began to do her hair. It took about 20 to 25 minutes because she had so much hair. "And done," Dasasuke said, proudly, stepping back to look at his work. Ivy's hair was in pigtails. Some of the pieces were braided and had beads in them. He made sure not to put pink ones in her hair. "Would you like to see it?" "Yes, please," she said, excitement in her voice. He led her over to the mirror, and she smiled brightly. "Thank you, Dasasuke. I love it." She hugged him. "I'm glad. Now let's go. It's time for breakfast," he said before picking her up and putting her on his shoulders. She giggled. "Can Teddy come?" she asked, pointing at the bear on the bed. He walked over and grabbed the bear and handed it to her. "I can't see why not." He smiled and began to walk to the dining room. Dasasuke set Ivy down and walked into the dining room over to his twin. She walked in after him and saw the other 5 boys. She saw Daiki and almost started to cry, but she forced herself not to. Nagisa walked over to her, smiling. "Good morning, Miss Ivy." "Good morning," she said, but it was barely audible. Nagisa noticed this and kneeled down to her level. "Ivy, what's wrong?" He said, putting a hand on her cheek. Nothing." She backed away a little, and she was looking at the ground. Nagisa and the others finally felt very sad, almost on the verge of tears. That's when all of them realized how strong her powers were. For also, there were vines crawling up the walls. "Ivy." Nagisa's voice cracked. She looked up at him. What?" She could barely hold back her tears. He pulled her into a hug, and she began to tremble. "Shh, it's okay. No one's gonna hurt you, we promise," Nagisa said, trying to calm her down. She held on to him tightly, not responding.